From the beach to the gas lamp to Mission Valley to Hillcrest and San Diego State. A varied climate in this beautiful American city. Our second stop here for AVP League play. Welcome inside Viejas Arena on the campus of San Diego State as we get ready for San Diego versus Austin. Budinger Evans, the Olympians, taking on Avery Drost, the grizzled veteran, and Wyatt Harrison, who is the rookie in the group. Fans are in and excited. We're ready to go. Welcome inside, everybody. I'm Kevin Barnett alongside Olympian Casey Patterson. It's an all-Olympic group here in the broadcast booth. Here we go. Casey, exciting men's match here. First action for Austin, and your focus is on the youngest member of this foursome.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how Wyatt receives this in the league, playing against Olympians. He's with a veteran. He's got nothing to lose here. I feel like you just go out, you have as much fun as possible. You bring in, you just go for the highlights, and if good things happen, you get a win. You get some momentum. But for me, I'm really focused to see how he's going to react to the Olympians and the pressure that they add.
The wild comparison here is Avery Drost has had more partners than Wyatt Harrison has played AVP events. How about that? An experience to draw. And now on the other side of the net, the Olympians, another year together for Miles Evans and Chase Budinger. They're also the defending champions here. What are you looking for from them coming off a 1-1 last time?
Yeah, I'm looking for them to add layers to their game, to fine-tune some things. Maybe in transition, we've added something offensive, right? On defense, I'm looking to add a layer to up, the pressure that we give to these other teams. And so for me, that's what I'm looking for. What are the little nuances that they've added?
Number stands out here for me at the bottom of the screen. Check that out. Last season, 379 for Miles Evans. Last week, 486. Now, they went 1-1, but they played some exceptional volleyball during that period.
Yeah, you can tell that they're comfortable. They're like post-Olympics. They've kind of settled in, and now they're really focused on the league and performing. And they've probably, over this offseason, had a chance to work on those little things we talked about. So I'm hoping to see even more, chances into how they're adding to their game.
This is the second week of league play here in San Diego. We were earlier in Palm Beach. That was a couple of weeks ago. San Diego Smash in action. What's the advantage of playing back-to-back events if you're San Diego?
Yeah, I love it. You get momentum, right? You get to build on that. You go 1-1, you got some momentum to build to fine-tune these things, right? Because the season, these matches are short, and you could have a gap between tournaments like last year. So for them, have a chance to really establish yourself and set the tone. That's great.
We were outdoors in Palm Beach. Now we're indoors. What are the big differences when you come inside?
Yeah, huge difference. The ball reacts differently. The vision is different, right? The sand, the moisture in the air. So, some players play a lot better in these really controlled spaces versus me. I love to be out in the elements. So, it's very different.
Chase Budinger and Miles Evans. You're looking at Chase Budinger there wearing the #1 in the colors of the San Diego Smash. In the foreground, his partner, Miles Evans, 35 years old, a grinder out of Santa Barbara, California, who got that much-deserved award. Playing some of his best volleyball in early 24, got to go and become an Olympian. We're underway here. You'll see some split blocking from Austin. Player who serves will play defense, as they're both about the same size, and that's Avery Drost coming in at 6'5", and his partner Wyatt Harrison at 6'6". First easy side out for Budinger Evans. Chase Budinger to the line. He will serve and he will block all the time. Nice overhead dig and a left-handed slap.
What a scoop by Miles. That is such a high-level dig to sit in there patiently and then take a ball high like that, but also control it, right to Chase. Good lineup by them.
I know they're wearing identical outfits, but you're going to have Wyatt Harrison with that pass there, and it will be an ace serve. Passed a little bit too close to the net. And another point, perfect opening for Budinger and Evans, now 3-0.
Chase has a nasty flow serve, and on top of that, it's your first set, first couple points. Sometimes those easy ones feel so much harder in that scenario.
Still looking for their first side out. High swing, no touch, and that is long. It's 4-0 to open. Do you call a timeout right now?
I feel like Avery's doing a good job right now. He's talking to Wyatt, right? He's like, verifying, hey, that's a great swing. We're okay missing that ball, but just settle in, maybe move around. I feel like you just try to comfort your guy and get him flowing.
Budinger will keep the ball on Harrison. Off the net again. Welcome to the league. Chase Budinger. Little middle swing did not go down. He'll try and get a piece of this one. Instead, it's Avery Drost with the side out.
I love it. He gets the scoop and just kind of nods after the kill, like, I'll take it. If that's how I got a side out after 3 attempts off a, you know, trickle swing dig, I'll take it.
Avery Jost is the veteran. Let's hear from him on his entry to the league.
I can't believe that happened still, you know, that we got to do that. And then I just got to be around his wisdom and his mastery of the game. I learned so much from him, like the way he was able to take things in stride and not worry about things and just be, you know, calm, cool, collected was really good wisdom for me. His friendship was awesome. He was always so cool to me.
Was he talking about me or was that Phil? Who was he talking about?
What if everybody was like you at a party, Casey? What if everybody... Oh, is that you? Is that you, the Olympian? No, that's me.
No, that's me. No.
Yeah, he's talking about Phil Dahlhauser in the season they had last year in Palm Beach Passion.
Yeah, I got a chance to play with Phil the season before, and it is a special feeling when a guy that's never really been stressed in his life physically or with talent and skill, it's really fun to play behind that. You get a really new sense of confidence, and you get to have fun again because you're just like, oh, I'm just here to ride behind this huge wall.
Yeah, Phil still puts up a big block. He's playing this year with Trevor Crabb. They opened in Palm Beach in week 1. There's a cut shot, not quite drawn up. And another kill will go in the category of Miles Evans. You're looking at Wyatt Harrison there, 25 years old, originally out of Santa Cruz, spent actually half of his high school life in Hawaii and Kauai, and then moved to Santa Cruz where his mom was from, and then played right here, UC San Diego.
No way.
Collegiate indoor volleyball, graduated in 22.
I love it. He's smooth. I would have guessed he kind of has some beach in his blood because of his smooth, nice uncoiled arm swing. I dig watching him play. I always liked guys with approaches like this. It's real smooth and whippy.
Yeah, pretty big jump serve indoors. That one is missed. The net's still moving from a contact, and that will negate the possible point.
It's always the worst feeling. That's always the worst feeling. You're like, yes, okay, I netted. Just want it so bad.
Harrison not going to see this one, and that will go long. How about the serving strategy there? Wouldn't you just pop it to Harrison?
Yeah, I think Chase, we do this a lot too, is like kind of just play with the middle, the seams in the middle. So that way it's not, you don't want to get Wyatt super comfortable getting to a rhythm. I want to keep testing it and having them deal with each other a little bit.
Budinger deals with that serve, fights it off. He'll be able to net. Take a look, and that looks really easy for the now 36-year-old, 6'7" out of Encinitas, California, which is part of the larger San Diego area. Beautiful beach town just on the North County side here. 3 AVP heritage titles for him. Hermosa 2019 was his first. In fact, all 3 of his victories may come with a guy who might mention it at a party. Casey Patterson.
What's he talking about? Is that me? Love it. Way to tee it up. Kevin, the ultimate wingman.
Went to school in Arizona, played hoops there. Of course, a lot of people know that story. But now is a 2024 Olympian, 9th place finish for Chase and Miles in Paris last year.
Yeah, they're playing at a real high level for a good chunk of that season.
That one sent to the net for Miles, and he is stopped. Wyatt Harrison gets a hold of it. At 6'6", kind of a tweener, right?
Yeah,
a lot like you.
Yeah, right. A guy that can kind of play D or go up and stuff a ball. And the beauty of that, the split block, is that, you know, you both get to be free from the service line. I get to go do my thing and just go for it. And that's what you got to do against a team that has played at the Olympics, that's won tournaments. You got to affect chaos. So you got to create something like that to have a chance.
That serve is long. Budinger and Evans looking pretty smooth through the opening part of this first set. Best 2 of 3. They're up 8-6 at the side switch, and we'll see you for the second half of set number 1 in just a moment.
How about a little magic? How about a little magic, huh?
8 weeks of regular season, 1 championship weekend coming up. Will Wyatt Harrison be there with more on the young player? Cameron Irwin on the sidelines. Hi, Cam.
Yeah, we got a chance to catch up with Wyatt Harrison this week, and I asked him to define himself as an attacker from an offensive weapon standpoint. And uniquely, he said he actually likes to attack the block and stay aggressive from the beginning. He said he pulls this over from his time playing collegiate volleyball, but it is a different approach. Oftentimes you see these attackers trying to work around the edges of the block or maybe hit a hard angle. He's not one to do that. He's going to try and aim for the high hands and find the tools. Also, a quick update on Tony Rodriguez. They are currently still assessing her just here on site. They're going to try and move her to Scripps Memorial here in San Diego to make sure she is well taken care of. Again, Taryn and Kristen, the opponents to Tony, also just behind the curtain, making sure that Tony is being taken care of. Again, we wish our best wishes to Tony Rodriguez as she is currently being cared for. Guys.
Yeah, thanks, Cam. If you weren't with us earlier, matchup on the women's side between San Diego and Austin. Tony Rodriguez suffering an injury, and they were unable to get the shoulder back to the position it needed to be, and it was a very painful situation. She ran off the floor, but getting all kinds of support, as Cam mentioned, from a lot of players and a lot of concern from both of her partners, both Jeannie Urango and also Kylie DeBerg, who is her international partner. A lot of sad, long faces for that injury. A player who's been through so much. Yeah,
she's been through so many injuries. I remember that New Orleans one where she hurt her knee for the 2nd time. And then now this, it's a tough road, especially when you need your body to do what you love doing.
Yeah, double contact can be called here. Back to action
above my
San
head
Diego.
and fast. Dude, that doesn't matter though. Like honestly, I watch people, I literally watch them do this all the time. Perfect set.
That's the new line, right? We're looking at the setting change in the game and how we approach it, and then also how referees each individually see that version of the rule, right? And so there's all those variables within it.
There's a lot of old school folks out there who don't like any first contact use of hands, as that ball is just long. Yes, just long.
Yeah. Referring back to what Cameron talked about Wyatt challenging the block. Yeah, that's something that I was reminded of one off season where I went and kind of played with a little practice team indoors in Anaheim with the national team, just like all the scrubs in there in the off season. And coming back to the sand after that, I was like, wow, I need to go after the block a lot more. Like I forgot how much more I can do with my offense versus trying to always avoid the blocker and move it around. It's just go high hands and blast.
Yeah. Drink a bottle of courage and go play a match.
Yeah. I think that's a great mentality. That was something that I did later on in my career to challenge against Phil, is kind of go after his hands versus always avoid him, and it opens up some opportunities long term. Yeah, speaking of opportunities, none of them for Avery Drost here in this first set. That was his first attack of the match, coming 20 points in. Chase Budding, a little step in, pull back across his body. Yeah, he came in with 3 different flows, comes in hard, leans back. Tough to read that ball.
Chase was wearing a little wrap on his foot through much of warm-ups earlier tonight and didn't hit any balls at all. Yeah. Talked to Jess, his wife. She said, no, he's fine. Yeah. It's bugging him, but it should be okay. He looks okay right now. Yeah, I talked to him down on near the sand there in the last match, and he said it just feels kind of like I have like a bad stone bruise, or like I played hoops barefoot or something. You know, when you land and you get like that bruise under the pad of your foot. He's like, so it's just real tender. In the sand, it feels a lot better. Yeah, so no wrap here, and so far in the first set, they have been pretty smooth and efficient. This will take them to 13 on another service error from Jost and Harrison. We're going to have to find that balance. Need to be aggressive, but you can't score if you don't serve in. Yeah, that's the tough line, right? Is you're trying to create opportunities and not give them just an easy serve. Again, away from Harrison and working down the line there. That was Drost. Let's check in with Cam again on San Diego.
Hey guys, just caught up with the coach, Dan Weinreich, for the San Diego Smash, and he talked about having a sniper mentality from the service line, #1 for this duo. Secondly, he also said, we want to hit him with a little surprise, so we started going after Wyatt Harrison to start. They expected Avery, as that's what they've done in the past. However, they wanted to switch it up. They also said, hey, be ready for that next adjustment. Once Wyatt figures it out, we're going to be right back on Avery.
All right, well, he hasn't figured it out yet. Here we are to a set point, 14-11.
I love that strategy, though. I think that's great. Surprise him a little bit. You can work at Wyatt, work the middle, something they're not used to.
Miles Evans, who owns a pretty cool corner-to-corner jump serve, there misses the float. Last couple of misses here for Austin. Will it be 3 in a row? Harrison looks up the middle again, takes a little off this time. And Chase Budinger takes none off to put the exclamation point on 15-12.
What a pass by Miles. Chase just gets to detonate down the line. Way to send a message as the Olympians setting the tone.
Indeed, setting the tone, controlling the points and the scoreboard are your 2024 USA representatives who played in the shadow of that iconic venue there. And now performing indoors this week, 15-13.
How about a little magic? How about a little magic, huh?
Iconic cities and AVP events throughout your summer of 2025. Take the opportunity to come on out and maybe ride an inflatable donkey. But make sure you have some healthy knees, please. This is the realm of the young. Is that legal donkey riding?
The donkey drag.
Yeah, that's an innovative way to finish. Mark Sherman, of course, always having everybody have a good time inside an AVP League event. First set stats, Case, you've been pouring over them. What do you see?
Yeah, I mean, kind of what to be expected, right? They served Wyatt, right, which is a surprise, and that was kind of what we talked about, the San Diego Smash. That was their game plan. Serve Wyatt, kind of surprise him a little bit. They caught him off guard first couple swings, you know, kind of rattle him a little bit, but I mean, overall, they didn't have a terrible side out percentage. Of course, Avery with, you know, only 2 attempts and 2 kills, that looks amazing at 1,000, but you know, in general, not terrible numbers in hitting percentage with, you know, San Diego hitting 455 and Austin with 364.
Trying to listen in a little bit there, Chase Budinger. Of course, his basketball career much
the
heralded.
hard-driven angle is getting blocked. So after 2 or 3, I'm gonna whistle just to remind because he's gonna have to whistle the line. Okay?
Love the coach, Mike. It's amazing.
Yeah, down there you can hear the Brazilian accent.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chase Budinger, drafted number 7, was the top prep volleyball player. Remember seeing him at JO's going, who's that guy? He's crushing.
Just flying and bouncing.
Yeah, went for the financial security of the NBA and then decided to come back to volleyball.
So smart.
Nice play there, pulling Budinger. He'll come back onto the net and chop again. His change of direction, approach angle to attack angle is impressive so far.
It's like an alley-oop or a jump shot. He's able to jump, hang, and then redirect so well. It's what makes him such a good big man, right? Not all the big men have all this ability to have vision, to move around, be quick, make the little bang-bang plays. So, you know, that's something that he elevates in his game more than most.
First set saw the Smash take a 4-0 lead and go all the way here again. They're off to a quality start, point on their own service.
It's kind of what Coach talked about on the timeout, right? They're walking out, hey, we've stopped him or affected the play and the angle so many times, look for the line. And Chase here with a great delay of his body, and look how far outside his shoulders. That's so hard to read as an attacker because you feel their body, you feel the space, and then they're 2 feet to the right. That's hard to see.
That's the mole method right there.
Yeah.
Anders Mole out of Norway, one of the innovative forces in volleyball. Look at that nice channel this time from Budinger.
Smooth rundown. Oh,
trying to go high loop, that doesn't work. Double axe handle dug up.
Oh, okay. I see.
So much variety.
Right. Who netted? Nobody.
The ball.
I love it. Chase almost with like the jumping stop sign on that one. Good jump set. Oh, it was his foot almost. Ball was down. Ball was down.
Let's check in with Cam.
Yeah, guys, I got a chance to listen in to some of that huddle in between set 1 and 2 for the Austin Aces, and the conversation was pretty clear. We got to clean up from the service line, and also Wyatt from the hitting attack approach. Just 3 hitting errors on his side. I asked if there was a specific area they felt like they could go to here in this second set from an attacking standpoint, and they said, well, it's actually more to do with how jumpy the sand is. He feels like maybe the timing is just a little bit off. So, Casey, my question is to you, how do you adjust the timing when the sand is this jumpy?
Yeah, that actually is a big factor that not a lot of people talk about. You're anxious and early, and you're all fired up to play in this match, and you're like, whoa, I'm a lot higher and earlier than I thought I would be. And so it does. You have to slow it down. You've got to slow that preparation out for the pass to give yourself that slow to fast type of approach, because when the sand's quick and jumpy, it's hard to control yourself. And so you lose a little vision trying to be physical.
Similar start here in the second set to the first. It was 4-0 in the first. Now it's 4-1. Make it 4-2 on that side. Now, jumpy, you're talking about the ability to get out of the sand, how much is below. And a lot of folks maybe won't like that it's indoors, that it's a sandbox you're playing in, but there are plenty of natural beaches that are quite jumpy.
Yeah, to be honest, the majority of them are more like this than they are a deep Hermosa Manhattan sand. This is similar to like a Huntington Beach and then like a Long Beach, right, where the Olympics are going to be played. So it's
super jumpy down there.
Very jumpy, similar to this, right? And so you do have to adapt to that timing and space. A little on 2 by Miles. Everybody loves it. That's something on defense I'm always talking to my partner. Hey, look for that from specific people. Miles was always one of those guys. Hey, no matter what, don't let up with those options, because he's looking to do it when you don't think he's going to.
There's a little option play. Nice job by Wyatt Harrison with that swing. Mentioned that Harrison grew up in Hawaii. His dad played for Hawaii, played a couple seasons there, 87, 88. For the Rainbow Warriors, would go on to play semi-pro in Switzerland, and now at one point was coach emeritus up there at Beta Bay. Santa Cruz, Northern California area. There's that signature fast offense to the outside. A little bit of a collision between Drost and Evans.
Love how they spread that offense. The fake jump set, just high seam. A little contact barely, but probably equally over the midline underneath the net.
In trouble again. The Aces give up another point, 7-3.
That's tough. Wyatt's been kind of flowing, right? And you feel like you need to kind of contribute and build off that last play and give some momentum. And on the right side, that's tough. Yeah, he's feeling it now. He's definitely coming in more calm and collected. You can tell his vision's there now. He's kind of gotten used to this surface and the speed.
Looking for that side switch here. And they'll get it off the service error, so 8-4 will be the side change here in Viejas, our 4th match of 4 on a Friday night. Budinger, Evans, solidly in control once again.
How about a little magic? How about a little magic, huh?
The AVP League is brought to you by Wilson, the official ball of the AVP. Back in the sand inside Viejas Arena. Crowd enjoying outstanding volleyball here on a Friday debut for the Austin Aces. As mentioned earlier, if you weren't with us, unfortunately an injury for Tony Rodriguez, the San Diego Smash. She and Gina Arango, the reigning champions, along with Chase Buttinger and Miles Evans. So looking for an update on her, as that ball is hit off the block, and it will be a point for the men in orange.
Avery's always been great at that like high seam ball from the right side. And I feel like for Austin, we just got to side out solid to give ourselves some freedom to go back and maybe hit some good spots on my serve versus feeling so pressured to serve like overly aggressive and create something.
That ball hit right into the pocket and dug to the back line. He'll take it.
Does that feel like Miles, if you say over more than 3 U's, it's for sure not mine.
Wyatt Harrison with the dig there. Didn't play club until junior year of high school. After that move to Santa Cruz City, really fell in love with volleyball. Before that, it was a lot of surf. Got volleyball skills from his dad, but really didn't focus on it until then. In the middle of 3 boys, brothers Kai and Noah. Asked him who the best athlete was. What do you think he said?
Himself?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a good answer.
He actually played doubles tennis in high school with older brother Kai, so that was really cool. And played soccer as well. 3-sport athlete.
I love it. Listen up, kids out there, play everything. Finish with volleyball.
Short serve misses. Serving continues to be a sore spot for Austin.
Yeah, it's so hard to be free back there from the service line when you're struggling to side out and you feel like you're just clawing it, making your serve more of like an offensive attack versus something that you can create opportunities with.
That one chopped up over the top. The Smash, despite being the defending champions, are actually 0-5 in this building going back to last year. They had a rough start last season and then came on late, played their best volleyball down the stretch.
Right, they had that big gap in between, so they had to have a meeting themselves and recalibrate.
Yeah, they had 4 weeks off. We have a couple teams that have that this season. As that ball is found as an ace. There you go, right back in it. The Austin Aces.
There it is. You just get a little bit more freedom. You get one on trans earlier, and then now you get to hit a good spot and create some opportunities.
Another one down the middle. Better pass this time. Chase checks down, chips off the edge of the block.
Oh, that's such a bummer where you both almost read it too well. Wyatt's already walking into it. Avery sees it and touches it and deflects it away.
And there in the foreground, Avery Drost, one-time baseball player, turned middle blocker. Westmont College. He'll get the set here and crank away, but I think we're going to get another call, another double call.
Interesting. To be honest, I feel like he actually took that higher than most on the jump set, and that's what they want to see. And then of course there's a little spin, but with where the rule's at and where the game is, that's what they want. They want to continue the rallies with giving those types of plays, like let them go, let them play.
Called pretty tight in this set, even for AVP play. Short. Dug up. And slapped down. Point Austin.
The double bear claw there, just the swat. He's just got to add the old Ricardo Santos ooh as he throws it down.
That is
perfect.
That is what he would do, undoubtedly. All right, 10-12 is this time for Austin to make a move. And that kind of pass stretch offense, so that was setting up to go all the way across the net, wasn't it?
Right, and you have to commit so far to, affect either one. And then, of course, Chase with his just slimy cutty.
Eight kills for Buttinger. And again, good short service. And that'll get called. Yeah, now there's going to be some serious aggravation. But that one looked a little dirtier than some of the others.
Yeah, because that one's deeper, right? Like Avery's kind of falling back. He holds it a little bit longer. That, I feel like that's, even though it's tight, I feel like that's more justified than the jump set earlier. We took it real high. Everything was square. Looked good.
Academic now, match point. In a match which San Diego has led the entire time.
Yeah, we could all feel that was coming. It's either going to be the greatest block you've ever seen, or I'm going to absolutely throttle this in the angle. Either way, it's a highlight.
Second match ball. How aggressive will Harrison be from the line? To the corner. Evans, right side. No!
Okay.
Do you call a timeout? San Diego still with 2.
I love it. How do you respond here? I think it's a good flow back there. He's hitting his match point type serve. I loved that serve. And
third
angled.
match ball. Ooh. Down the middle.
Okay. We believe.
Serve.
We're starting to believe.
Now you got to call a timeout. Indeed, there it is for San Diego. First pressure they have faced. Their lead down to 1. They'll be looking at their 4th match ball when they come back onto the sand.
Just like, why couldn't we have found that earlier? Great serving, good pressure.
Now, where have you been, service game, earlier in this match?
That's where you'd always tap into the, why couldn't I have found that a lot sooner? That's a great seam, great middle ball. I love how he's approaching too, into the court, so he kind of picks it off at a different time, and so you can't really get just a pure read straight into the court.
Casey, I want you to look at this again and look at Chase Buddinger's body language here as that serve is taken. He looks a little late. Watch his body language. Is he not expecting the ball at all?
That's something that we would talk about, that we talked about. That's like the Brazilian type serve lineup where he's starting right in front of Chase, and so visually it looks like both of your balls or your partner's ball for longer than normal because of that seam lineup. And so Chase is always great at making sure who has middle. This is my ball, that's my ball. I think that just comes down to Wyatt hitting a really high level serve with a perfect location.
Okay, can he do it again? 2 aces in this set. Love to pick up a 3rd and tie it at 14. It would be the first tie of the entire match.
Yeah, San Diego's definitely just controlled this whole match so far.
Team TKN, Kristen Nuss, Taryn Brasher looking on. Battle at the net, kept alive, looking for the tie here. No, can't get it. And the crowd is sad.
What a scramble play. Great last 3 plays. I'll take those and post those on Instagram. No one will know, right? Great match, barely lost. You just post those up. You're fine.
Well, it was close to the end, but mostly dominated by San Diego. 15-12, 15-13. Another good open to a weekend for the San Diego Smash. Back to San Diego momentarily.
How about a little magic? How about a little magic, huh?
San Diego Smash with a victory, and Beckham is excited. He was ready for the win even before this one started. Let's go down to Cameron with the winners.
All right, guys, we're starting off. I mean, Beckham's the real star here, and I know he has a favorite shot. You pick up the win, but what's your favorite thing that your dad does? Is it a monster block?
Yeah.
Daddy.
Yeah, can you say monster block?
Monster Love.
Yeah. Well, your daddy got a couple of those in this matchup. So, Chase, I'll start with you. You're playing in your hometown. Just how good is it to have your family in the stands and to be here in San Diego?
Yeah, it's great. I had a big crew that came out to watch, of family and friends, and it's always special to play in front of them and then also to play in my hometown. There's not really hasn't been a pro sports team here, so it's really great to be back here playing in this town and then also representing it.
From a strategy standpoint, I caught up with Dan. He said you guys wanted to start on Wyatt. Why was that the right decision in this matchup?
I feel like maybe Avery was expecting to get served. I don't know, but we wanted to surprise him a little bit and see kind of this is his first time in the league, first time in an indoor facility, I'm sure. So just kind of test him and see what he was ready for.
A massive year for the both of you from 2024. You go to the Olympics and then you win the AVP League. I have to ask, what are the goals now in 2025? I'd love an answer from each of you. Chase, I'll start with you.
Yeah, I mean, we had a heck of a last year, pretty incredible. So this year we had to really regroup and kind of set a new goal. And this goal this year is trying to get to world champs, go back-to-back AVP League champs again. So, we set our goals very high and we try to execute it.
Definitely. World champs is definitely number one on our list, but if we can win the league again, rubbing in everyone's faces that we deserve to be here, that'd be awesome.
All right, well, that individual title is on the line, so congrats on the win, you guys, and good luck in the rest of the season. Kevin, Casey?
Straight sets victory for San Diego over Austin. They did it pretty convincingly, Case.
Yeah, they did everything right? They served tough, they sided out, they affected the plays on defense, and Chase was in Wyatt's face from the start, getting great touches, stuffing him in that line, and then Miles was converting, and so that's a frustrating team to play when they're like on all cylinders. They're doing everything well.
Their award will be the LA Launch Smith & Webber, who had a convincing debut in their match earlier tonight. We'll be back for a second night of action from San Diego. Tomorrow will be on CW, as well as streaming live. Check on avp.com for all your scheduling needs. We'll see you from San Diego tomorrow night, 5 o'clock. For now, it's 15-12, 15-13. Victory for the San Diego Smash. Chase Budinger is king of San Diego.